New this morning, people adopted in Vermont now have access to their birth records.
That's thanks to legislation from last session. Now, previously, you could only see a non-identifying summary of your adoption. Channel 3's Melissa Cooney joins us live in studio to explain. Melissa.
Good morning, John and Alyssa. Since this law went into effect on July 1st, the Department for Children and Families says just under 200 people have connected with the adoption registry to get their previously inaccessible records.
Or all the questions were just answered, and it was really lovely.
Jesse Proya grew up in the Northeast Kingdom after being adopted. He says he spent a lot of time wondering about his biological family, the reason for his adoption, and not knowing his ancestry. He says his adopted parents were always supportive in providing him with the information that was accessible. But he was also curious about medical, mental health, and other history that wasn't available to him.
With closed adoptions, it felt like we didn't have the same rights as other people to know our stories and to know our information. And now it feels there's just this sense of resolution or groundedness in the whole experience.
Proya says viewing his records was healing. He says he learned a lot about his story and how challenging the process must have been for his biological mother, noting how much care and intention was put into his adoption, something he hopes for other adopted people too.
It's really a lot better for adoptees, birth parents, and adoptive parents as well, just to not have this in the shadows. I mean, this is a wonderful thing, and to have it out in the open.
Erica Radke of the Department for Children and Families says the former laws of closed adoption come from an older way of thinking, noting how today's best practice is to keep adoption records open. Vermont is now joining at least 14 states with open adoption record laws, the last in New England.
We have contacted about 140 adoptees, indicating to them that disclosure forms have been filed about their adoption, and then they have the option then to find out what's been disclosed.
The state considers this legislation a win for adopted people here in the Green Mountain State, and for folks like Proya, it is. But he encourages adopted people in Vermont to be honest with themselves about what could change once they get to learn more about their story.
Once you open the file, you can't close it. You can't unknow things. And as adopted kids, none of us are adopted from ideal situations, and we don't know, no one will know what's on the other side of that. And just to know that you're in a good place to process whatever that might be.
And if you were born in Vermont, you can now get the original adoptive certificate and identifying information about your birth parents if they signed a non-disclosure form prior to the law. We have more information on how to access your information on our website, WCIX.com. Live in the studio, Melissa Cooney, Channel 3 This Morning.